You know, I like to think I'm man enough to admit when I was wrong, and I want to be half right. What do I mean by that? Well, remember how I've been saying throughout the last, month plus or so, how this It movie is going to be garbage because Pennywise is not scary and he just loves shaking his head back and forth, screaming, ah. Yeah, I was right on that part. The other part, on the whole it being a not good movie, yeah, I was wrong. Like, horribly wrong. This is actually a very, very good horror movie. And actually one I highly recommend for anyone who's a fan of It, the Stephen King series, horror movies just in general. No, calling this a horror movie is very half true. I would say it's more of a suspense horror than anything, because they use a lot of build-up and atmosphere very akin to the second half of Annabelle throughout this movie, and is done very well. And it kind of brings me to one thing I was thinking in the back of my mind throughout the entire movie, but thankfully they address it in the end and actually makes sense. Why is Pennywise constantly scaring these kids? Why is he just going in for the kill? And so on and so forth. It actually makes a lot of sense in how he deliberately does his work, how he acts, and it's noticeable that they wanted to do more with him. There seems to be like a backstory they wanted to tell, but didn't get a chance to because that whole director switch debacle caused this movie to be 7 years late. And yeah, if a movie's in production for 7 years, otherwise known as production hell, usually not that good of a movie, but in this case, it actually is. The Kids, i.e. The Losers, a great movie by the way, The Losers, go see it. And they mention how they're also Outsiders, also good movie. Meh. Good book, I'll say that. Go read it. Especially if you're in Florida like I am right now, and be safe, guys. So, sentimental bit aside. Yeah. This is actually a very enjoyable. I had fun. I will say they have a bit of an issue, and it might just be with the theater, the noise volume. They really like to spike it up. Not like a giant orchestra sting like you would hear in a jump scare movie, like, ah! You know, stuff like that. This is more just, it raises very highly, and it really messes with my right ear. It's kind of like if someone has, you know, a TV on, let's give a volume setting here, stick it at 8, and then throws it all the way up to 58. That's what it felt like. So yeah, slightly jarring, not terrifying, and not what it's supposed to be. The music is used, the music is used very well throughout this movie. They know when to play the creepy ambiance when they need to. But the one thing I'll give a note, even the horror movie music they play, you know, this creepy ooh, it actually has a bit of whimsy to it. It's something you kind of get entranced with. It's very hypnotic in that regard. And actually adds another depth to this movie that, well, I wasn't expecting. And, I don't know how close this is to the source material, be it the fact that that book is 1,000 pages long and I've skimmed the Cliff Notes version of it a long time ago. And it's been so long since I've seen the miniseries, but I know the miniseries didn't follow the book that well. Because this book is, well, based on the book, this movie is kinda squicky. Yeah, it was tough to watch at some of these points. Not because, you know, the horror in and of itself, but because of the environment these kids live in and the effect of people around them. Yeah, not to give much away, but one of the I gave that away. The girl and her father's relationship is very wrong. Not even gonna skim the notes. Very horribly wrong. And if I ever met someone like this in person, I would punch them in the throat. Over and over again. Resuscitating them, of course, so that way I do not go to jail for attempted murder. But then I would do that to them about a week later and repeat that cycle. Seriously, there's a fine list of people in this world that I really, really can't stand, and her dad is one of them. But yes, that bit aside, that was, And they play on that little aspect very well in the fear department. Yeah. Each of these kids is very Nightmare on Elm Street-esque, in the form that Pennywise basically steals Freddy Krueger's gimmick, in the sense that he turns their greatest fear into their, well, greatest fear. One of them being saddened by the death of their brother, Georgie, is haunted by pictures and memories of him. Beatrice, the girl, is, well, Dad, and how they portray that's actually very well done, if you ask me, and very symbolic. And also very, what the hell am I watching? One scared of clowns, one scared of this picture thing, which I guess is a symbolism of something, I'm sure. One is scared by a past event, and the other is just, well, I don't know what his fear was. The books, I guess? Maybe he didn't like the movie The Pagemaster? I don't know. But it's good. And the bullies in this are very, very good at their job. Oh boy. The main one, Henry, he's a sociopath. No way to skim that. True sociopathic tendencies at their finest, to the point where it's literally, like, terrifying to watch. Just because this kid clearly needs some help, and is clearly unhinged. And it shows. Also, I don't want to start a debate, but it's clear one of these kids was singled out and got the tar kicked out of them. Every single fight scene. And by the way, there's some fight scenes in this that are actually really good. But holy crud, this poor kid. Over and over again, he's just getting pimp slapped, beaten, punched in the face. Just, dude. I don't know what you did to the director to make him mad at you, but seriously. Dude got knocked in the air into a giant pile of, well, plot stuff I'm not going to get into. Everyone else just gets, slapped around. No, he gets straight up like, wham! We're talking Dragon Ball Z levels of just whack. Okay, Dragon Ball levels, not Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z, he would have gone through the walls. Dragon Ball, you would just hit the object and felt a lot of pain. And that's the one thing I'll give this movie. The hits hurt. They do. Which means that final scene is oh so enjoyable. Very enjoyable to watch the outcome of that. But if I have to get to the one part I wanted to say, I was right. Pennywise the Clown. Yeah. When he's acting like a clown, he's actually very intimidating. It's the one thing I will give credit to in the beginning scene, specifically the sewer drain, which if you have a YouTube account, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You've probably seen it already. But it's still enjoyable to see on the big screen. It tugs at you a little bit. And afterwards, you never see it again. It's just, oh, I'm scary clown. Ah! Oh wait, hold on, I forgot the hands. Ah! Not scary. The setup is good. The music is good. The visual effects are amazing. But, the clown himself. No. Which, once you realize how you can defeat him, makes this kind of laughable, if you really think about that. He's like Diet Freddy Krueger. Except Freddy Krueger comes back whenever you think about him. This guy just comes back every 27 years because he needs to feed. So there. But yeah, overall, really good movie. Characters are enjoyable, with the exception of Pennywise. Atmosphere, phenomenal. Scares. I'm not trembling, of course. But, I mean, I know how to beat him. It's not like Annabelle where you can't really beat the devil. If someone could have, they would have won by now. And the world would have been nice, peace, harmony, yada yada yada. Go watch God, the Devil, and Bob if you want to know what I'm referring to. Good old series, by the way. You can find it all on YouTube. But yes, it has come and gone. And I don't know what's going to happen next week, guys. With current events going, I don't know what the schedule is going to be like. I hope to have something for you guys. Anything really. And you can stop the review right now. The movie review is done. I don't know who's watching this. I know a couple of people who I know watch this, and if you know anyone in Houston or anyone who's being currently affected by Irma, just know that my thoughts are with them. And if you are in the path of Irma as it is, find somewhere safe, and just above all else, be safe. Don't worry about anything else. Material possessions can be replaced. Objects, TVs, videos, this car, my phone, the clothes I'm wearing. But you cannot be replaced. And always be safe. So that's just one thing I want to get across. Just everyone out there, please be safe. And if you're, safe, of course, like if you're someone in, I don't know, Nebraska watching this, just keep them in your thoughts. Both everything that's happened with Irma and Houston, just think about them, okay? I don't want to get to the religious thing, but just do what you feel is right. Because that's what we humans do best. And now that PSA is done, once again, everybody, I'm Kevin Raleigh signing off, and see you all next time. Later.